So management information systems, data information. What is data? Data is like facts and figures that are not currently being used in a decision process form of historical records that are recorded and filed without immediate intent to retrieve for decision making. In simplest data is the raw facts and figures and that nobody can understand. It need to be processed and it gets processed into information. Once it is processed into information, then we can understand that what is this all about. Um, if data is simple, like if something is written on a paper, but it is written like in unstructured way, it is in unorganized way, that is data. You cannot understand that. Then the computer will process that data and then it will turn into information, means it will turn into a structured and organized way. Then we can then that information is that particular information we can read, we can understand. So this is all about that. It's a simple thing. What is information? The word information is derived from Latin word informer, which means give form to. Information is data that has been processed and retrieved in such a way that it is meaningful to a person who receives it. It is knowledge shared or obtained through study, instruction, investigation, or news. Or you share it through the act of communicating, whether verbally, non-verbally, visually, or through written word. Information has different names, including intelligence, message, data, signal, or fact. So the data can be in any way. It can be in the form of it can be in a written form. It can be like a recorded message. Recorded message is also a data. If you are writing something, it is also a data. But if you are writing it into an organized form, like anyone can, when someone is reading that message, they could understand it. That is information. Information could be in any form, like visually, verbally, non-verbally, in any form. You can get information. Now, there are types of information: conceptual, procedural, policy, stimulatory information, empirical information, directive information. Conceptual information, as the name tells you, like it's something, it is something that relates to like concepts, right? Conceptual information comes from your like conceptual ideas, theories, concepts. You can form or share conceptual information through comparisons and reflection, creating philosophies that cannot be proven or seen. The second example of conceptual art, where the method of producing it is more important than the finished product. It is simple that whenever you have some concept in your head, in your brain, and that concept let's take an example of an art. Let's say you are going to do an artwork, or you are going to just paint a picture, or you are a painter, so there's a concept in your head, but the concept is in your head. That information you have to portray it like in some way, in some manner. Then you would be like doing that painting, and you are making some like um, let's say you are like you are just transforming your ideas at it. You are transforming your ideas through your brain to that particular picture. Then anyone who would be like looking at your artwork, they will get to know that what were you thinking. So all is that concept. That this is a conceptual information that is in your head. That is coming through your ideas, through your concepts. Then you want to share those concepts with the people around you. Then you are sharing them in that way. Procedure information, the procedures, some procedure, like the different types of informations when we are giving them, like when we are working in an office, like in office in any company, there are different types of information. Sometimes we make the reports like in which we have to put all the informations about that finance related information. Sometimes we have to write like management related information. Sometimes we have to write lump sum like um, about the regulations and rules and regulations, that kind of information. So information is in different types. It could be it could be like any type of information. So one of those informations is procedural information, in which you are telling someone about a particular procedure. Just like if you are driving a car, so driving a car is a procedure. Like it's a proper procedure when you are driving. How to give a race, how to like move a wheel, and how to press a brake. Like it's a proper procedure. So it is a procedural information. Also, if someone is giving a presentation um, about his or her piece of work, um, and you want to like convey the information to the other people, to his or her colleagues. Let's say in a company, he's giving information and is going to he made something like let's say an application, and how he made that application, and he is showing that a flow diagram. So he gonna tell them like step by step, like how he went through all the steps, and he made that particular project. So he's sharing the information about the procedure he went through for making a particular application. So procedure information and imperative knowledge is the method of how someone knows to do something and is used by performing a task. You can refer to it as muscle memory, since it is a knowledge that is hard to explain and store deeply in your mind. The same thing. Policy information. Policy information is something. Let's take an example of um, like government rules and regulations. Whenever they make certain rules um, for a particular department, for a particular industry, or let's say for business industry, the government is making rules for business tycoons, for business industry. Then they they have to make certain policies. Those policies are the those okay, they will make a certain reports. It's not like they're just, they can tell them verbally, but they make certain reports. Those certain reports would include each and everything, like how the business industry would work, how what kind of rules and regulations they have to follow. So that would be a proper policy. That would be an information. That is also a piece of information, but that is categorized as a policy information. That is telling about that is telling about the certain policies that the government is implementing for that particular industry, for that particular business industry. So policy information focuses on decision making and the design, formation and selection of policies. It is the combination of laws, guidelines, regulations, rules, and oversight for an organization, group of people, or place. You can gain policy information through pictures, diagrams, descriptions, and other visual, audio, or written messages. For example, government restrictive, regulatory, or facilitating policies. So this is the same thing I explained to you. Okay, stimulatory information. Stimulatory information is information that creates a response or stimulation amongst people, among a person or a group of people. Now, stimulation encourages the cause of activity, and you can gain stimulatory information in a variety of ways, like in person, through observation, through word of a mouth, through communication. One example is maybe a person observing the non-verbal communication of someone who is passing by. If the stimulation is positive, they may say hello and start a conversation. And if the stimulation is not positive, they may respond by moving in the other direction, running away, or creating more distance between them. Means that like if you are simple is a simple example, like if sometimes we when we want to make a communication with someone, we don't do it verbally, we don't talk. Sometimes the other person he just noticed that thing, that we want to like talk to or speak to a particular person. So this is like stimulatory information in which we are the other person is understanding that what you want, what the person in front of him or her they want. It is like the true, maybe through your he may get to know about your certain like movements, maybe facial expressions. So these kind of things that the other person will get to know, maybe that person want to communicate with me. So it's up to the next person, they want to start the conversation or don't want to start a conversation. But these kind of informations are stimulatory informations. Empirical informations are uh, like we talk about some theories or some experiments. Let's take in laboratory, we are doing some experiments, and sometimes the we are trying to like verify a certain theory, right? Sometimes that theory, there's like hypotheses and all that process goes through, and at the end maybe that theory falls wrong or maybe that theory falls true. So these kind of information in which we don't know is it right or is it wrong, and these kind of informations are especially they are used in like scientific research when they are doing like when they are doing research and they want to know about the certain theories, or they want to know about that that's true or false. They are like performing certain experiments, and at the end, whatever the result is, that kind of information is empirical information. Empirical information means information gained through observations. Of course, when we are performing certain experiments, so the first phase is observation. It's almost always has a scientific foundation and verifies the truth or the falsehood of a claim through different factors. For example, the atomic theory. Directive and descriptive information. Directive descriptive information is about providing directions to a person and a group of people to achieve a particular result and output. That is, directive information often comes in verbal, written form and can apply to leadership at work, such as employment performance reviews. It could be anything. Employment performance reviews, they will review it, and they will figure out that there are certain flaws in some employees. There are certain flaws, and they will give directions that you have to overcome those flaws. And these kind of directive information we can see everywhere. Like when you are in your classroom, your teacher giving you directive information, like you have to complete your work, like your assignment, and you have to complete your assignment, and she feels like you have some certain flaws. She will also just all the teachers, they know the weakness of the kids, and she will also give you certain directions to overcome those weaknesses. So directive, you can find a directive information even at your home with your moms and dads. There are directive informations in which someone is giving you directions to like for a particular to do the particular thing. That is a directive information. So these kind all there are different kind of informations. So in a daily life, every single day, we are like going through all these kind of information, but we never categorize them. Some where we are coming across the certain policies or policy information, stimulation, empirical, directive. So these all are the kind of informations. What are the characteristics of information? Um, what should if there is a particular information, how they should be like if there is a particular information, if you feel like it's useful for you, what makes it useful? All these points makes it useful. Those are relevance, timeliness, accuracy, completeness, summarization, reliability. It should be accurate, information should be relevant. Means we are talking about now. We were talking about MIS systems, information systems. When you need the particular information that, for let's say the managers, they need the particular information about the employees. So we if we need that information, then they have to pull out that only that relevant information from that MIS system. So I am now connecting you with the MIS system rather than in general. So we are going to talk about the types of MIS. So the information should be relevant, complete, accurate, validate, reliable, consistent. It shouldn't be like changing. It should be consistent. Whatever you have asked for it stays as it is. Up to date, should be up to date. And impartiality and cost benefit analysis. These are some characteristics. Now we would be moving towards the main topics. We still have classification of information. Then we would be moving to the types of information systems. Primary information, secondary information, tertiary information. What is a primary information? When let's say there's a company, they want to do a certain, or there's like, if I go with my example, then let's say there's a government, the department of government, and they want to implement certain rules and regulations for the public, and they want to do a survey, a certain survey, like should we allow 15 years old to drive with parental guidance? So this is a survey that they want to conduct. They want to ask the public, and they want to get their response. Right now, they have conducted that survey. That survey hasn't been interpreted, analyzed. That is the first form of information. So that first form of information, you can say direct market surveys, the questionnaires, that has not been altered, interpreted, that has not been processed yet. That is the primary information that we are getting on our first place. The information we are getting at the first place from the surveys that hasn't been interpreted or analyzed, that kind of information is a primary information. Secondary information, now after primary, that secondary information has been taken from the primary information. How? Let's say there is a survey. Should we allow 15-year-old to drive with parental guidance? That is a survey. The government, the particular government department of government, they conducted, and from the public. They conducted, and they're getting answers from the public, right? Now, that was a primary information. What would be the secondary? Now it has been taken from there. Now what it says, 15-year-old driving with parental control article being created from the data being taken from the survey that has been conducted before. Now, before it was a raw survey, there was like not a particular information. There was an unorganized survey. Okay, then that was like primary information. Secondary information, that survey has been turned into the article. Now through article, when the people would be like reading the article, they would get the better understanding what all that survey was about. So secondary information is that has been created from primary material or by interpreting the original material. Examples could be the textbooks, research articles, websites, anything. Before making a website, you have to gather information. And how you gather information? You have to do surveys, you have to do interviews, you have to do research, and with that clients or customers. When you gather that information, after that, Abu Bakr, okay. When you get that information, when you gathered all the information from the customers, that information is a primary information. And when you turn that information into website, that information would be a secondary information, not tertiary information. Now, the source of this information is both primary information and secondary information. How? Now, here you did just a research. Here you turn the research into article. You turn that data into websites, into research articles, you use that information, made a textbook. Now here you are using both information, primary information, secondary information, and both information from you are taking help from both of these. You're taking data from both of them, and then you are turning them into the manuals, directories, the guidebooks, the dictionaries. So this kind of information is a tertiary information, and it lives. It you just these kind of informations are for a long time, and the people can just get a guide from there. Now there are strategic informations. Okay, first there is a type of information that is a strategic information. Okay, the strategic information is concerned with the long-term policy decisions that defines the objectives of a business and checks how well these objectives are met. For example, acquiring a new plant, a new product, diversification of business comes from that strategic information. What is the strategic information is it it focus on the long term planning, and you are thinking about a company. So this kind of information, the managers, the top level management, they use this kind of information that helps them in making certain policies, right? That should be like for the long term. If they are like going to launch a new product, they are going to start a new plant, they are going to start a new service, they want to diversify their business, means that they want to expand their business. And for all, like for top level management type of services, for that we use that strategic information. Then those managers, they use strategic information, and then they make certain decisions. If they are going to start a new product, they are going to develop a new product, start a new service and whatever. It is for long-term planning. If they are starting a service for a long time, for like they're thinking about the future, that this type of service, they would be like it would be in a long run. Then for that they use a strategic. They pull out the strategic information from MIS. From information systems, and then they make certain decisions on the basis of these informations. Unstructured, external, internal, they get the information is internally and externally. It means internally from inside the organization and from outside the organizations too. And it is hard to obtain because it's a difficult data. It's a strategic information. It takes time of pulling out that information and then organizing, interpreting the information. These information systems focus on long-term planning and important decisions, making that guides the overall direction of the business. If you are thinking about business roles, SIS is typically focused on the C-suite, the executives, and the top level managers that steer the company in the right directions to remain profitable and meet goals, abide by the mission statement, and so on. Like I said, that it is for the executives and top level people, for the management people. And they need that kind of information for making certain decisions. If that brings to mind, okay, decision makers want to know what customers want, what the shareholders think, what funds they have to enable new project, if they have to hire additional employees, and of course what the projection for the future profits and costs look like. These all kind of for these all kind of tasks, they get the information from the MIS system, and then on the basis of that information they make certain decisions. Customer relationship CRM system is one of the examples of that strategic information. CRM is based on the strategic information, that what kind of information it keeps, like it maintains, you can say. Let's take an example of banking environment. In a bank, let's say they have that customer relationship management systems, right? What they do, they manage an organization's interaction with current and potential employees. How these systems have all the data, all the data of those customers, the potential customers. What are the potential customers? In the banking system, the potential customers are those who have like good like accounts in the bank. Those potential customers are those on which those particular bank they have the you can say the potential customer is the base of the bank. If they are like all the customers are potential, but some customers who have like more money in their accounts, and they are maintaining a lot of fund in that particular bank, those are called as you can say the rich customers. They are potential customers. So they pull out the data history about they pull out all the history data of those customers, and then they try to build a relationship with them. Um, Now this is a CRM system. Now CRM system is a software. In that software, all that data is maintained about the all the like they are, let's say there are 500 potential customers. They have the data of all those 500 potential customers, about their transactions, about their bank statements, about like last 3 or 4 years. They're like their flow of their funds, like they have all their like financial history. Now on the basis that financial history, then they give priority to those customers. They give importance to them. They keep calling them regularly to uh, and they keep they will remain in touch with them. They keep like inviting them on their personal on their like private parties. So they want to keep a relationship with those kind of customers. How they would keep a relationship? By through that strategic information, and where they are getting that strategic information through CRM systems. Why? Because CRM system is storing all that data of those particular customers. So in the turn, at the end, it will drive the sales growth of that particular bank. Now, ERP system. ERP system is like is also a software, and it in a particular you can say let's take an example of organization and any company in which they are like day-to-day activities, like they are the operation departments. They are people like data entry clerks. They're doing like data entry. They are other supply chain operations. There are a lot of other IT departments. There are a lot of things that are going on like daily, on day-to-day basis, right? And they are doing a lot of activities, operations. So what is the purpose of ERP system? It will keep that data, all that kind of information in it. And yeah, and also there's the one that is a like you can say the beneficial thing is it also gives the real-time reporting. Some softwares, some of the softwares, most of the software, they are not working on real-time report. They are not doing real-time reporting. They have some data. They take time to pull out the data, and then they make decisions on that. But it is not real time. It takes time. It takes 3 days, 4 days. But there are some systems, some MIS systems, they work like they do like real time reporting. That saves time, less errors. If the thing that is happening at the same time, the task is completing at the same time, then there would be a less chance of errors. There would be the time would be saved too. And of course, the management can keep an eye on their employees. So it has the real time reporting thing too. Now let's take an example of a SAP. And nowadays, everywhere in all the companies, they have they have installed SAP on the clients, on their customers, on their employees' mobile phones, on their laptops, on their devices. Everywhere they have installed that SAP. They have installed the SAP software. SAP software is a ERP system. What is the purpose of that SAP software? It makes all that record of all the employees, like that they're all the tasks they are doing in a whole day. Let's say they are doing work on their they are pulling out some Excel sheets. They are doing work Excel sheets. They are going outside. As they are like offsite. Some engineers, some employees are they work inside that particular office or a company. Some engineers they, oh, sorry, some employees they have to travel, and they have to go to the certain places like customer sites to check their work. So it is suitable. SAP keeps an eye. It monitors all kind of employees. Those are like working inside, and those are working outside that particular company. Let's take an example of engineers. The engineers, most of the engineers, they have to visit the customer sites. So there is a monitoring the geographical locations. They can monitor, like SAP can monitor the locations too. And when the SAP is installed in the particular, let's say, mobile phone, then it automatically turns on that particular location. You don't have to do it manually. It is the SAP automatically turns the location on, and then if the particular employee, particular engineer has to visit that certain you can say a client, then it tells yes, the engineer was there, for how many hours he was there, and when he took a leave from that particular client. So through SAP system, through ERP, it provides this kind of information, that strategic information. So ERP system and ERP system provides the strategic information to the companies, and to those information uh, they can also monitor their employees. Okay, operational system is like everyday operation system is a very simple thing, like the people in the particular company, they are doing like daily operations, daily operation that could be the data entry that they're doing daily, like data entry, that clerical stuff, and that filing, and these like everyday activities in the small activities like the operation level activities. All those activities are the operational activities, and that kind of information are not useful for the management level, because it is for the particular operational departments, like the low level departments, where like they're, you can say, they are doing inventory management, they are shipping schedules, they have like other um, actively managing the work shifts. There are a lot of other things like that. So these are the this kind of operational information is the internal information. What How it is internal, like whatever the employees are doing, like in a particular days, 8 hours, the shift is like 8 hours uh, 8 hours per day. So what they are doing, like during 8 hours, that how much data they have stored, what kind of daily operations they are doing, it will this kind of information, all that kind of information will be the operational information. It is for short-term planning. It is a day-to-day. Strategic is a long-term for long-term planning, but this one is for the like day-to-day operations. So it is of course short-term planning. Let's say if I ask someone, if I am a supervisor, and supervisor have to watch them, I have to look after for have to like watch for operational information. If I ask someone, you have to complete you have to enter the data. There are the 10 files, and you have to enter all that data. So these is a short-term planning, it's not a long-term planning. And if I ask someone like these all these inventories, you have to maintain all these inventories, like let's say 20, 30, 40 inventories. So uh, so this kind of data is like the everyday data. It is not for a long term. It has to start in the same on the same day. It has to start, and it has to finish on the same day. So these are all the All kind of informations are the operational informations. Operational information systems are all about the now and the how. They process concerning ongoing daily operations and what needs to be done to meet short-term goals and immediate requests. Okay. OIS is on the ground level, actively managing work shifts, inventory, payroll, shipping schedules. For short-term planning, they are at the supervisory level management, easy to obtain, and sources internal. So, like checking price for individuals and packaging orders. That's statutory information. What is statutory information? It is okay. It means all information required by the law and sent to the government bodies. Okay, this information, not a simple information, not like it has nothing to do with the management level, because the normal people, they can't make the report which with that kind of like statutory information is the process of preparing and filing reports required by law. This is not a normal information, and this is not some management type of information. This is something that has to do with the government, you can say. So it could be okay, the any federal law body that a particular company has to submit a annual report, the statutory report. They have to submit that to the government, and because the government has implemented some policies, some rules, some regulations on that particular on that business industry, right? On that business, all those kind of all business corporations, organizations. So they have to follow that. Let's say in Saudi Arabia, there are certain rules that all the companies in Saudi Arabia, they have to follow all those rules. If they are not following those rules, then they can dissolve that particular company, right? So these reports, in the all companies, in all companies, there is a department that deals with all that legal all those legal kind of activities, because it has nothing to do with the management, with the management people. So that reporting, it include that all the data all about the financial statement. It include all the financial statements of that particular company. It has information about their annual tax, how much they have paid. It has also information about the liabilities of that particular company. So it has all the informations about the company, how much the company is growing, and about how many liabilities the company is carrying. So they are particular, this report they have to submit to the that government body, and it is necessary. If they are not complying to those rules and regulations, then the company could get dissolved. This is the statutory information. Statutory reporting is a process of preparing and filing reports required by law. Statutory reports may be required by federal, state, or local governments, and businesses may be required to file reports with multiple agencies. Preparing and filing these reports can be complex, and failure to comply with reporting requirements can result in significant penalties. Statutory reporting typically includes preparing financial statements, tax returns, and other filing required by the law. What are the benefits of statutory reporting? It ensures the accuracy, completeness of the company by filing all the periodic reports with the relevant authorities, and okay, to track the changes in your company over time. When they're submitting the reports, of course, there is a whole picture of your company in that report. It is telling to the government that what are your activities. That, let's say, I'm talking about a certain organization. What's going on in that certain organizations in terms of the cash flow, in terms of other things too. So there would be making the report accordingly. Now, what are the benefits of it? There would be certain benefits like an accurate and up-to-date picture of your company's financial position, a clear picture of your company's compliance with statutory requirements, improved communication between you and the authorities. And when the certain organization is submitting that particular report, it means that they are maintaining a communication between them and that between the government. The government would have the clear picture of that particular business, that particular organization, what's going on in it, and there would be like, and that particular organization, they have to of course they have no other way out other than they just have to follow those rules and regulations, those policies that has been implemented by the government. Increased transparency within your company can stimulate competition and thus improve business, reduce time to market. There's some the financial statements. Various types of statutory reports are required to be submitted to the relevant authorities on a periodic basis. The most common types of reports are, as I told you before, I explained it, but let's do it again. Financial statements. These include the balance sheet, income statement, statement of changes in equity, and the statement of cash flows. That particular report that been made by a legal department that is operating in a particular organization. What they are writing, what they are putting in that report are these financial statements, tax returns. All businesses must submit tax returns to the relevant authorities periodically, annual returns, statutory declarations, and audited accounts. Types of information system. Transaction processing system, management information system, IS, DSS, decision support system, executive information system, EIS, expert system, ES, and office automation system. First of all, you should know this is a layout of any organization, any working area, any company where you are working. This is the layout. Like there is an executive level, there is a managerial level, and there is a operation level. Executive level is the top level, managerial level is the middle level, and operational level is the lowest level. They have to deal with everyday tasks. Managerial level, they have to make communication. They have to make communication with the operational department. And executive level 2 and executive level are the people who get that all that kind of information, and on the basis of information they have to make decision. So these are the levels of an organization, of any organization. Okay, what is information system? Arrangement of people, data, processes, interfaces, networks, technology that interact to support and improve both day-to-day operations in a business, as well as for the problem solving and decision making needs of the management. Is a set of interrelated components that collect, process, store, and distribute data and information, provide a feedback mechanism to meet an objective. In simple way, this is the information system, is a particular information, it is a particular system that stores the information, and when when the management people, they need that particular information, then they process it they turn it into the reports, and then they through those information systems they get that particular information from those information system. What is information system? It is a software, right? So it is when we say information system, of course it is composed of software, hardware. So this is a software to which there is a data stored, and when needed, it is processed, and then it is provided to the people, to the certain people, to the management people, if they want to take certain decisions on the basis of those data. These are decision-making levels. Transaction processing protocol, TPS. Transaction processing systems are operation level systems at the bottom of the pyramid. they lies TPS lies at the bottom of the pyramid, right? They are usually operated directly by the like operational people who are working at the low level, that the lowest level of the company, which provide the key data required to support the management of the operation. This data is usually obtained through the automated or semi-automated tracking of low-level activities and basic transactions, right? Okay, let's take an for TPS. This is the system. Then we will take. I will give you some examples. You will get to know. This is a TPS system. It takes input. Okay, there is a software TPS. It takes input of the transactions, and the transactions goes in that particular software. Then they process the transactions. Then they keep it in the form of like transactions are like monthly. They could be transaction could be anything. The monthly bills, any payments, reports, and summarizes. Then they can turn into the reports when needed, and updated data for processing. It is the TPS structure. Now let's talk about what is TPS, and uh, it is used at operational level, like at the lowest level. Let's take an example of TPS. If you are like you are booking a hotel like online, to a particular website, let's say booking.com. When you are booking a particular hotel, then you have to pay for that online. Okay, then you are making a certain transaction. That certain transaction is then it's been stored. It will get stored in that particular transaction processing system, right? Everyday transactions we are making the daily transactions on, like, let's say we are paying bills. Let's say the companies, they are paying to the employees, they are paying their salaries, they are paying for their taxes. Let's say we are doing online shopping, right? We are booking for that hotels. We are making like transactions everywhere. Let's say we are taking admission in university, and every day in when our in let's take an example, university in which the admissions are going on, right? When the admissions would be going on, they would be like submitting their fees, their registration fee. So the transactions will be carried on. That transactions would be then stored in the TPS system, right? TPS system would have the all the data like how many the transactions have been made today, right? Like then from that TPS system, that if someone need that data, let's say the management of that particular university, they want to know how many transactions have been made and how many students they have taken admission in their particular university. Then they will that TPS is only providing the information about a transaction, but through the transactions they can pull out a lot of other information too. So they will get to know that how many transaction has been made, has been processed through the TPS system, right? So it works like that. This system maintains the control and the balance of company's buying process. Moreover, it coordinates product distribution, process payroll and sales. Payroll and sales, like there is a like the beginning of the month, the end of the month, and the companies have to pay the salaries to their respective employees. And when they would be paying the particular salaries to them, then of course they have been making those particular transactions. So those all transactions been stored also in TPS system. And whenever let's say when when they need anyone, they need information about that particular how many transactions been made today, like as I told you, that TPS only works at the lowest level, right? Operation department people, they are dealing with the TPS system, not the managerial level. So if they can get that data from from the TPS, that particular data then goes to MIS. MIS system is another system. It gets that data from TPS, then it turns that data into the information. Then that information goes to the managerial departments, and so these all systems are interconnected to each other. These all are information systems. They are keeping information. Some of them are keeping the information of transactions. Some of them are keeping like other information about the employees. They are collecting data about their performance and other things. So there are the different IS systems. They are keeping the different informations, and those informations, the companies, the people who are working in different levels, they are utilizing that information when they need it. Now there are two types of TPS: batch processing and the real-time processing. The processing of transaction takes place over batches. In batch one, there is generally a time delay in this type of processing, no user interaction. Let's take an example, like in a bank. It happens like, let's say Almarai. There's a company, Almarai, is operating in Saudi Arabia, and they have their employee salary account with that particular bank, right? Or they have like and they have like submitted like 500 checks to the particular bank for their employees. Now that particular bank is not going to process that check one by one. It's not like they are going to like process 10 checks today and 20 tomorrow. No, they have to process. It is a batch processing, we call it. They have to process all those checks all together, right? So this is called as batch processing, and this is one type of TPS. So TPS has they are the two types in which in one type of TPS it allows the batch processing. The other type of TPS, it allows the real time processing. The real time processing is like anything you are doing online, anything like you are getting response instantly. Like let's say you are booking a seat in a plane. You are booking for hotel. You are doing online shopping. You are making like all of these things are like online, and these are you are getting the instant response from them. So take let's take example one by one. Okay, when you are booking for this for a seat in a plane, what happens? You are paying online through your credit or debit cards. At the same time, your seat being booked, you are getting the message that you are also customizing your seats, right? The right one, the left one, or the middle one, the aisle seat, and then it's been done at the same time, and you are getting the response at the same time that you have your that booking has been done and finalized, right? So this is like this is a real time processing. There are less chances of errors. You like if I say about time, you are saving your time too. But in batch processing, it takes time, and there is no user interaction batch processing. But in real time processing, the user interacts directly. There is a user interaction 100%. So these are the types of TPS. Real time processing, what is, let's read it. Under real time processing, every single transaction is processed with immediate effect. There is no time delay in the real time processing system. User interaction required. So there are some examples of TPS: payroll processing, sales and order processing, inventory management, accounts payable and receivable. Objectives of TPS: efficient, effective operation of the organization, provide timely documents, reports, increase the competitive advantage if their TPS, if they are providing they are reporting in time, if their operations are effective and everything is like efficient, then of course there would be a competitive advantage too. A competitive advantage is like they will achieve, it will increase day by day. Means there are other competitors in that particular industry, in that particular market. There would be other companies too. So you have to make yourself better. So through these systems, you can take like right decisions. You can take right things. So of course it will automatically increase that competitive advantage too. Provides necessary data for tactical and strategic information such as TSS. Provide a framework for analyzing an organization's activities, through which you can the organization can have a look on the company's activities, what's going on about that. Okay, this is a picture. It shows you TPS. Okay, it's related with sales, with orders, with wages, with purchases, with transaction databases, with manufacturing. It can be used everywhere. Employees, warehouses, taxes, sales, and everywhere. Right? Okay, there is another system, MIS system, right? Now I told you about that TPS system. It works on data. It's not working. TPS system is working on data, right? Now MIS system is working on information, management information system. Okay. For historical reasons, many of the different types of information systems found in commercial organizations are referred to as management information system. However, in our pyramid model, management information systems are management level systems that are used by middle managers to help ensure the smooth running of the organization in the short to medium term. The highly structured information provided by these systems allows managers to evaluate an organization's performance by comparing current with the previous output. Now, the main thing is when MIS systems are implemented or installed in different companies and different organizations, what um, what are they doing? Well, first of all, you should know that MIS works on information and TPS works on data, right? MIS and TPS, they work together too. They are all the informations, they have some sort of connection with them. They work together. Now, management system need information, then for that, they have to get the data from somewhere, from internal sources or external sources. But nowadays, if there is a TPS system, it would be easier for MIS system. It will take that data from TPS system and then it converts that raw data from raw data into information. So information is like you can understandable thing that is information, right? So it turned into information now. It is a meaningful form. It is a meaningful form of data, right? So now MIS would be working on that information. How it would be working? Um, First of all, the focus of like MIS is low to middle level, while the TPS focus was only on the lowest level of that management, right? It is lowest to middle level. It means to the management level, while TPS was only working on the operational level. The role of MIS is based on internal information flows and support relatively structured decisions, inflexible and have little analytical capacity, used by lower middle managerial levels, deals with the past and the present rather than the future. Efficiency oriented. Okay, some examples are sales management systems, inventory control systems, budgeting systems, okay, personal HRM systems, and let's say it works on management level, right? Now, here is if a management level, if a manager he wants the data, he wants the information, that is he wants like sales information, like let's say 2023, all that sales reports he wants from that operational department or middle managerial level who are like working that IT department, who is like the IT department is working on that MIS system, because if you want to pull out that particular information, of course the managers and they cannot do that. They cannot process the information. So first of all, it would be done in the IT department. The IT department would be like processing that particular information that the management department needs. So that would be provided to that manager. And what the manager wants to see, he or she wants to see all the data of the sales data. He or she want to see that how much sales have been done by their sales department, by their marketing department in 2023, and he want to compare that with the sale, that with the current sale. So if they are going in profit, or if they are going in they are not going in profit. So that kind of information, it would be taken out from the MIS system. But there is a thing that MIS, for that particular, the relevant information they have to take out, then it will work. If from MIS system, if that all kind of if they want, like managers, they want the particular information like regarding to that sales report of 2023, if rather other than the sales report there are other information, they are pulling out the other information too, then there would be no meaning of, there would be no purpose of that kind of information. So they have the MIS just has to provide that relevant information. So MIS role is to store that information, to gather the data, then process the data into information, then that data being taken internally from the company. It is like collecting the data from that let's say from the history that in previous year, what happened in previous year, all those reports, they would be stored in MIS. So they are getting that data like this, then they are turning into information. When any person from the management, they need that particular information, then they can get that data from MIS system, and then they take certain decisions for their company. For if, let's say, they're making any product, like I say every time I say that, let's say they are making any product, they are introducing a new service, they are going to start a new project, then that particular information they're gonna use for that. Objectives of MIS: provide summary information of our organizational activity at periodic intervals. Operational control and efficiency, focus on internal information useful through structured decisions. Okay, input is internal transactions, internal files, structured data. Then it will be sorted, merging, summarizing. Then output, summary reports, action reports, and detailed reports. MIS are built on the data that is been provided by TPS. Now this is MIS, the picture just like I showed you, the TPS one. A transaction database, budget reports, sales summary, profit loss statements, production schedules. They will be working with this. Now the decision support system. Now you know about TPS and MIS. The decision support systems are interactive software-based system intended to help managers in decision making by accessing large volumes of information generated from various related information systems involved in organizational business process, such as office automation system, transaction processing system. Okay, now there were the other systems. If I talk about like MIS system, on the basis of information that has been taken from the MIS system, of course, the managers, they are making certain decisions on the basis of the information that they are pulling out from MIS system. But MIS system, the information that is in MIS system, that particular information is not helping in, like, they are analyzing that information and they are making decisions. The managers are analyzing information, then they process the information, then they will be like, okay, they have to take decision for that. But DSS is different. DSS provides certain information in which it helps the managers to make a decision on for a certain project. It has that capability. The decision support system has that capability. Let's take an example of GPS system. When you're driving a car, then in a GPS system, there is like a decision, the DSS of GPS system what it is telling you. When it's sometimes it tells you like the way you have taken, the road you have taken is jammed, and there's a lot of traffic, and it will consume a lot of your time, and then it will suggest you to the other way, like this road or this road is already like in a lot of traffic, so it's better you take another route. Okay, there are two routes. Now it gave options to you, right? It gave option to you that this one is better. Like you can decide. Like it gave you a lot of information. When it is giving you option, then it is not leaving all the things on you. It also have provided a lot of information. Like what? Like it has provided information about the traffic. It has also provided the information about the time. Now, on the basis of that traffic and time, you can make your decision. They gave the decision support system gave you an option, right? They gave you choices. Now it's up to you, like by taking that information under account, you can then make your decision, like which route is suitable for me. So DSS helps you in making certain decisions. It uses the summary information, exceptions, patterns, trends, uses using the analytical models. A decision support system helps in decision making, but does not necessarily give a decision itself. The decision makers compile useful information from a raw data, documents, personal knowledge, or business models to identify and solve problems and make decisions, like I said. Okay. Now it has a what if situation, like it refers to, DSS refers to system which support the processing of decision making dealing with unstructured problems, may be defined as the what if approach. What if I do this? What if I choose this? Like it has this decision support system approach is like, what if I choose this path? The routes, like I'm talking about a GPS system. What if I choose this route? Which one is better for me? This is a what if approach. Considered as an extension of MIS. It is an extension of MIS because it is also providing information. But the difference is only MIS is providing general information, then but this one is providing a specific information about that is related to the decision. An effective blend of human intelligence, information technology, and software. Why it says the human intelligence? Because it is helping you in. It is giving you choices and very intelligent choices. It is giving you like. It is also giving you like reasons why this choice could be better. Like let's say again GPS system, you can save your time and. If there is a lot of traffic, then of course it will utilize a lot of your time. But if you will choose another route, it can save your time. It provides strategic information. A decision support system has three components. Database in which the data is kept, software system. The software system is a kind of interface to it. The IT people, they can pull out the information. They can pull out that information they need, and a user interface. Okay, user interface is also that through this through the software system, it can interact with that. The database draws on a variety of sources, include data internal to the organization, data generated by application, and external data purchased from third parties or mined from the internet. The size of DSS database will vary based on need from small stand. Why the size? Because DSS database should be large, should be big, because it gets the information also from inside the organization, like the departmental informations. It also the operational information, HR information, all the activities that going on in HR about that information, like IT information, all that data is like internal data itself is a lot of data, but as well as it stores the external data as well, from internet, from like third parties, that are kind of when the both data comes together, then it means that you need a database with a lot of space in it. You need large databases, database systems. Software system. The software system is built on model. The number and the types of models depend on purpose of the DSS. Commonly used models include statistical models. These are used to establish a relationship between events factors related to that event. For example, these models, they could be used to analyze sales in relation to location or weather, like how much sales you made in a particular geographical location, and if the weather was worse, but still with that if the weather is bad, still how much sale you have made. It means in relation to something, in relation to location and weather. Sensitivity in analysis models are used for what if analysis, like what if I take this route, what if I take this route. Forecasting means forecasting names tells you, like forecasting is something that is for the future. It used to analyze business condition, make plans for future. Dashboards and other interfaces that allows users to interact and view the results. It is used interface for interaction. There is an example of DSS. There was a patient, there are a group of patients, and they have that particular illness, and the decision support system is like there are a lot of reports that have been submitted to decision that has been stored to decision support system. Those are the reports that has been taken from all these patients, the group of patients, because they need a research. They need to find the treatment for that particular illness. So they need all the data from all the patients. And the input is like genetic data about their electrophysiological data, their characteristics, their medical history, their these and questionnaires. They did ask a lot of questions from the patients other than their medical history. And it is stored, and now the decision support system will give an output, and it is the personalized set of examinators and optimal treatment. And on the basis of that, it has given some options, like these could be the treatments. It has given treatment 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is it is an intelligent system. Okay, so it will recommend these kind of all these treatments, because it has the data stored of it has the data been stored, um like all the medical history, and on the basis of that medical history, on the basis of those questionnaires, the interviews it been taken from the patients and been stored in the decision support system, it has provided certain treatments, these treatments, like, and there are 4 or 5 treatments, and one of them could it is up to now doctors. They will be working on that, but they a lot of hustle. They have saved themselves a lot of hustle. They have saved themselves a lot of work. Okay, DSS in logistics. We use a DSS system in. This is DSS internal data, external data. Then internal and external data being collected. Then DSS programs, DSS data, DSS models. Then it goes to the user. Okay, then the user is pulling out that information from there. Then the reports and the feedback to the system will be generated. Then this is the output. On the basis of this output, then management can take decisions. And DSS is also used in supply chain, like when they are like delivering, during the delivery process and transportation process, they are using the DSS system too. So let's move towards the executive system. And you already know the comparison between MIS and DSS. Comparison between MIS and DSS. MIS focuses on structured tasks, and the focus of DSS is on semi-structured tasks. Its emphasis on data storage, its emphasis on data manipulation. It is often assessed, MIS data is often assessed indirectly by managers. And in DSS, data is assessed directly by the managers. In MIS, places emphasis on efficiency of decision. In DSS, places emphasis on effectiveness of decision. MIS provides tactical information, top management to take decisions, provides strategic information. DSS provides strategic information. Okay, MIS need is regular and recurring, and DSS need is regular. Okay, let's move to the executive information system. Executive information is just like the DSS system that makes decisions for the top level people, for the top level in the management. So executive is, as a name is telling you, the executive systems are the, okay, Malika, strategic level information systems that are found at the top of the pyramid. They help executives and the senior managers to analyze the environment in which the organization operates, to identify long-term trends, and to plan appropriate courses of action. The information in such systems is often weakly structured, and it comes from internal and external sources. Okay. It is executive information systems are designed actually um, to be operated directly by executives without the need of intermediaries, and easily tailored to the preferences of the individuals using them. Okay, these are the information like DSS. This information is only used by the executives, and all these informations are they are getting like relevant information. So only they will tailor the particular information, they will tailor those information according to their preferences, whatever they need, what kind of decision they are going to make, what kind of decision the executives they want to make for the company. So they will get those informations from EIS. And EIS is getting the information just like a DSS for internally and externally. I told you that DSS, they need a bigger database because they have to collect the data from inside the organization and outside the organization. Likewise, the executive information system also they also get the data externally from outside and from outside that organization, and also they get that data from the different departments of the organization. That system get that data, and that data gets into that particular EIS system. Is stored and then it is processed. IS uses both internal and external information to make decisions, and it is gathered within organization. External is the information that gathered outside the organization. Okay. The executive management of the company analyzes the data of the company through statistical graphs. Okay, rather than reports, they also generate the reports, but the data have been shown. That system shows the data mostly in the form of graphs. The executives, of course, those are executives, they can read the graphs. The executives check the latest trends in the market, and when you're talking about the trends, if they are checking about the latest trend, on the basis of those latest trends, they would be updating something, they would be updating their company too. So those trends are shown in the form of graphs, in the form of bars, in the form of graphs. So then on the basis of those graphs, then they take decision for their companies. Executive information system, specialized form of DSS used by top level managers, reduces the information overload on executives. Of course, when there is a proper information system, then executives don't have to gather their information. They don't have to do an extra work in gathering that particular information they need. So executive information system is there for them. They can they have an access to that. Makes use of internal external information, provides managers and executive flexible access to information for monitoring operational results and general business conditions. Provides a comprehensive picture of business performance by analyzing key performance indicators for growth. Meets strategic information needs of the top management, also known as executive as support system. Okay, the same thing. Okay, let's take some examples where in a company where this EIS is working, and where we can use where the executives can use the EIS system, like in which areas they can use. They can use in marketing, in marketing teams, like they marketing teams use EIS to market their services, and they analyze that marketing data of the company, and the profit of the company is increased by using EIS. Of course, EIS has stored that marketing data of last year, or of all the marketing data of previous years. So they can also compare that data to for like current years, and also they can use that particular they can use that particular data for their marketing growth. Used by financial departments. Financial departments, then there would be the balance sheets, financial statements, their income statements, and also their liabilities, the statements also, that all these statements, they are stored in the EIS system. So when the financial department need to change some strategies for the companies, like maybe they have to increase the pay rate. Maybe they have to decrease the pay rate. Maybe they have to um, give the bonus. They have to give bonus to their employees. Maybe there are other things too. Like so, for all those type of decisions, they have to check the income statements, the balance sheets, the financial statements, and they can check it. They can get each and everything regarding to that is to that finance, then from EIS. So from EIS, they can pull out that marketing data, that finance data, and then they can make different strategies on the basis of that data. Hiring departments, the hiring departments like HR departments, they are like conducting the interviews. They are hiring new people, new employees, and how they would be like deciding that who is better, and who they should hire. The hiring department of company, they uses EIS to analyze the CVs of applicants and check their abilities and skills. And then they make decisions to shortlist the applicants for interviews. Simple. Um, they, like the other departments, they have that data too. Likewise, the hiring department have that data about those the people who applied for the particular post and for the particular for that company. They will check their education. They will check. They will check their experience level. They will check each and everything about them, and then they will make decision. And all that data they can access from EIS. There are some components of ESS: hardware, software, system users, telecommunication data. And these all components, when they come together, then it makes a system, right? Hardware, of course, they need a hardware device that is used to process the data. Hardware, okay. Software, this is application that is used to model the data, to give out reports. Of course, we need software. They need the system users, that a human resource that is involved in implementing, ensuring the system work as expected. They could be the IT people, right? Telecom, for telecommunication, of course, if there's data, then data has to be transferred. So they need telecom too, and data itself, they need data too. So these all are the components of ESS. Now, there are characteristics of ESS, like I said. Okay, there are some things. Real-time reporting, it gives a real-time reporting. For the decision to be done at the right time, the system should be able to present the required data at the right moment. EIS system should be able to present data in real time for prompt decision making. Drill down capabilities, the system should be able to allow the users to go deep and analyze. Drill down means If there is some situation, you have to go down and you have to dig deeper, and you have to check more for that particular situation to get rid of that. If for example, if a summary graph shows a drop in sales, the system allows for a drill down on why and when it started. If there is a drop in sales, then it will dig down deeper, and it will get to know that why it happened and why the sales is going down. Customization and personalization. An ES system should allow the users to customize the report they want to generate and how. Present data summarized in graphics, tables, and text. Data consolidation and aggregation. EIS system should have the capability to collect data from other systems and sources, then consolidate it together and interpret it. Of course, all these systems are connected together. So when there is when one system, like we talk about MIS system, TPS system, DSS system, so if they are getting some informations from each other, they're sharing those informations. So executive information system features, they're easy to use, integration of data forecasting, accessible to multiple devices, and data is secure. Okay, function is input, processing, output. Input is, of course, that input could be in any form. It could be data, it could be files, it could be anything, like it could be a voice, and then it would be processed, and then there would be output in the form of graphs or expert system. Expert system can be defined as in programs that help the computer make decision in a similar way as an expert in specific domain. It makes a use of artificial intelligence to generate knowledge out of information, existing theories, beliefs, experiences of managers, and it mimics the judgment of experts by following the set of rules that experts would follow. They are useful in such diverse areas such as medical diagnosis, portfolio management, and credit assessments. Okay, there are some expert systems that has been used in medical departments. Um, in in medical fields, they have been using an expert system a lot, just like the previous system we were talking about, DSS system. They do research and take certain like make certain choices and certain decisions. So the expert system is if you will, there is a certain problem, it will resolve the problem because it is very intelligent system. Let's take an example of it. If the applicant has a required education, then hire the applicant. And if the applicant has a required experience, then hire the applicant. This is a scenario, right? If a certain applicant has that education, then hire him or her. If has the certain experience, then hire the applicant, right? If the applicant has degree in commerce, then applicant has required education. And if he has 2 or more years of experience, then applicant has required experience too, right? So this is like applicant has to, if you are applying for the job, then these are the scenarios that it has to fulfill. The applicant has to fulfill that. The required education, required experience, and education is in commerce and 2 or more years experience, and so on. Now if there are many like applicants, they are coming in, and they are the HR department, they're taking their interviews, they are then putting their data into like expert systems, and now this expert system will evaluate that if they are they should hire those applicants or not, right? Now the expert system will evaluate that. The user enters the above information, right? The interference engine, of course, it will interpret the information. Uses the rules to evaluate the data entered. Now the rules are these. The rules are already been identified, already been given to that expert system, that if we are hiring, that we are doing a hiring process, that these are the rules. and then there would be like, let's say 50 employees, and there's the information of 50 employees in the they are feeding the information of 50 employees in expert in system. Then what the expert system already knows that there is a rule. There is a The rule has been created and it will follow the rule. The rule is that if applicant has required education and experience, then he would be able to join that particular company. He would be hired. Now here in this example, if the user enters education as BCom, if he has a BCom on his or her CV, the education is BCom and experience is like 4 years. Now what you say, the BCom, yes, it is fulfilling that requirement, the required education, the degree in commerce, it is fulfilling that. Now expert system, I will match these two things. Like BCom, yes, it's a degree in commerce. Okay, it's a win-win situation. Yes, good. Means it's done. Now it will go to the second line. Second line is experience. Like then the interference engine would determine that the applicant has the requisite education. Uh, Now the rule 3 and okay, then experience as per the rule 3 and rule 4 respectively. Experience is 4 years, right? But they need the experience of 2 or more years, right? So 4 years is 2 or more. Education is BCom years, 4 years, so both are validated. Both options are done. They've been validated. Yes, this is a particular person. This is a that we can hire for our company. Now that applicant should be hired because it has fulfilled our conditions, the education condition and the experience condition. So the expert system, it makes that decision for that. Okay, it also can be used in several areas of organizations, accounting and finance, marketing, manufacturing, and others. In assessing, in accounting and finance, they select the selecting forecasting models and in providing tax advice. In marketing, they would be in establishing sales quotas and responding to customer inquiries. And in manufacturing, in determining whether the process is running correctly, in they will be analyzing that quality and providing corrective actions in product design and layout. And others are in assessing project proposals. These are the other examples. Now, office automation system. These are the okay. These automation system, they help people perform personal record keeping, writing, and calculations efficient and do calculations like spreadsheet programs. The different programs we are using in the office environment, like spreadsheet, presentation packages, text and image processing systems, personal database systems. So these all are through which we can do communications, scheduling, we can do document preparations, we can analyze the data, we can consolidate the information. It's simple that those programs we are using in an office environment, in any organization, we're using these for making presentations, for keeping a data for a particular database, spreadsheet programs. These all tools the tools we are using, the programs we are using in a particular work area. Those are it keeps it for the record keeping, right? It help people. It help all the employees in maintain in the recording and in recording the data, recording that data, and during communication, during scheduling, during document preparations, anything that we do in an office environment, that office automation system helps them to in all those tasks. Office automation system is the integration of computer, telecommunication, office equipment technologies to improve the execution of business functions through increasing the productivity, effectiveness, and working conditions of the office board. The concept of office automation encompasses the application of computer and communication technology to improve the productivity of all type of office workers. like all kind of technology, like IT technology we are using in our office. That could be the software we are using for maintaining our data, for communication, all that kind of all that kind of softwares and devices that we are using in office, in a particular working environment, that is related to office automation system, because it improves our productivity, particular work area. I should for what, like word processing, electronic mail, commuting, teleconferencing, computer terminals, micrographics, all this. Okay, fine, it's done. Okay, thank you so much. Inshallah, I will see you in the next lecture.